Hello, in this video I'd like to share with you how I made this interactive team gallery thing. I'm not quite sure what to call it. It's something that our client requested, and I took a look around to see what was out there in terms of Beaver Builder add-ons. There are so many, but unfortunately there was nothing that was similar to this at all. So I thought, well, I could probably use the Beaver Builder modules with a bit of custom CSS and JavaScript, and I've managed to pull it off, and it's here for you to use as well. And this is really just a mock-up that I've made on my own live demo site at only.beaverjunction.com. Link will be below. But if you go to the home page here, answer this simple captcha question, press try demo, give it a bit of time because it creates a new version of this site. Then you'll be logged in and you can then go and save the page template and start using what I've got here. And just to make that a bit easier, on that page, by the way, if you want to know where that page is, you'll need to come to modules and down to here, HTML and text modules team gallery. And let's go down and take a look at this screenshot so I can just explain this. So once you're logged in, you'll just need to go to Tools to Export. And then when you're in this screen, select Templates, change this to Export Selected, and you'll need to click on this one called Team Gallery. And somewhere below here will be a button to download that. And to get it on your own site, you'll just need to go to your site, go to Import, and I think the rest is pretty self-evident. Okay, so that's that. I've also included the code that's used here, but this is all contained within the page template. So let me go over to that first. So we'll go into the page builder, and I'll just show you that it's there. If we go to Tools here and go to Layout CSS/JavaScript, we'll see that it's included in the CSS, and the JavaScript is where it should be over here. One thing just to mention is that I've added this styling on the paragraph text to 14 pixels just to bring this down. So you might want to get rid of this because this would override on this page what's set by your theme, but I wanted to do that in this case. Okay, let me come out of there and let me just show you the modules that I use. So I use a HTML module and a text module in this case. I could have used both, either would have done, but maybe it'll make sense if I click on it. So these are using HTML modules here. So this is a 3-column row, and within this I've got these nested columns within, so there's 3 within this. Let's go and open up one of these so you can see. Now, of course, ideally I would like to have been able to use a photo module, but with this I need to have this data ID and give it a unique ID, which is in this case div ID 1. And I can't do that in the photo module. And to keep things simple here, I've used HTML because there's very little you can do, compared to a text module. So we did discuss with the client whether I should use field connectors so they could add their content in the back end using Beaver Themer and make it a lot easier to just grab the images. But we decided that not likely to want to change this themselves very often, and it's not beyond their wit to upload an image to the Beaver Builder library and then copy and paste that URL here in between the quote marks here, which is fairly simple to do. Okay, so that's what we decided there, and as you can imagine, each of these have got their own unique div. So this was 1, as you saw, this is 2, and they go on to 9 here, or however many we would need of these. And these are matched up with the text module that I'm using here. So let's take this first one. And this is pretty straightforward. You can do what you like here. I've aligned this image to the left, put a title in there and some text, but the key thing about this one is under advanced here. So to make this work, we needed to have an ID that matched the one that was over here as well. So this one is 1 because that one was 1, and of course this one will be 2, and so on. And we needed this class as well, which is called hide divs, and that's exactly what it does, and that's why it's called that. It could be called anything, of course. Let's just save this. Now you're going to see something a little bit strange happen when I do this. She just disappeared. I will show you that she can come back with a page refresh, and I shall explain why that's happening. And this is the bit where if somebody's got a better idea, then that's great. But this is what we're going to have to live with at the moment on this. Now, actually, it's probably best now if I just explain it by coming out of here. So we've gone back to her. Note this. Okay, so here is the JavaScript code. So I just went online and I found this bit of code here, which effectively says where there's an image and we click on it, it will hide. It's going to hide these divs, which have got the class of hide div, which you saw that I was using, that have got a data ID, which you saw in the HTML module. And on click, then it's going to show them. And I also added in a bit of animation, which kind of looks quite nice because it's using the whole div. So there's the fade in of the whole div, and I think it looks quite nice on that. But the problem is with just using this alone, which worked, I click on this and everything appeared, but this only shows on click. So we had nothing over here. So what I added to that, I thought, how do I get around this? And my limited knowledge of JavaScript, I thought, well, I know how to show something on load. And that's basically what I've done here. So this first line here is just showing the person on the right, depending on their ID. So I've put in 4, and as you can see, it's this woman, and she's number 4. If I wanted to change that, we just need to change the number here. Now, the rest of this also solves another problem. As you can see, we could go in there and edit all of these people, but of course, we wouldn't be able to do that without showing them in some way. So how I got around this one was continuing with the onload. It would show all of those different divs, all the other ones that weren't 4 would be showing. So I had to list them out over here. And because, of course, I don't want them showing to a visitor, I use this Beaver builder class of Beaver edit. And this means that it's just going to display these on load just for me being in the editor, but any other visitor isn't going to see them. So that's how that works. The problem is, of course, once I've done a change, it's no longer on load, so they disappear and I need to refresh to bring back anybody. But we just concluded that that wasn't going to be too much of a problem because someone's just going to go in, do their job, save and get out generally, or they're going to load it again if they need to go in. So didn't think that was too much of a problem. So the last thing to sort out is just the CSS used here. There's not much used. Most of it's about the clicks, but there is a quite important thing here. You'll see that I've got a media query for this hide divs, which is display none. That's how it makes it disappear, by connecting up with this CSS and seeing what it's telling it to do. And I'm telling it to do it only on the sort of desktop views here. And I thought this was going to be easier because if you look at this kind of display like this with the right hand side, how do we adjust this for all the different sizes and make sure that somebody can read this and know what's going on when they click? You know, so if I put that above, they might not see what was changing above, and the same with below. So I thought best thing to do is to just remove it all. And as you can see here, if I reduce down, we go into this view, and that gets us out of that pickle. So what's going on here is it's not showing there, and you'll probably just notice another media query here for those lower sizes, and all that's doing is a bit of styling. It was just that background that I put on each of those divs, and I put a little bit of padding on them. That's all that is. So that's up to you what you would, whether you want that or and how you style that. The rest of it here is about what's happening on click. So I kind of put this in the wrong order, but this is just putting a border around the images because I thought it needed that. And for this hover effect, I put a slightly change of color on the hover, and I also put a bit of opacity on this, so it just faded a little bit. And I also needed to set the cursor to pointer, otherwise it wouldn't do this hand thing. So as you can see there, it's just a little subtle effect there, so you just know the thing's getting darker. There's a bit of opacity, and we've got the pointer. And the final bit, which you can use anywhere, which I love this, it's used in Beaver Builder, which is this kind of 1 pixel jump. You can use it on kind of any anchor text, really. You could use it on your links to give them a button-like feel. But on active, it kind of jumps 1 pixel. And as you can see, that's what's happening here, just to give it a kind of interactive feel. And that, I think, is me done. I hope this was useful. Let me know if you've got any problems. Let me know if you've got any better ideas on this. If you like this video, then please give me a thumbs up. And if you like these kind of videos, then please subscribe. And if you didn't like it, please don't give me a thumbs down. Just let me know how I could improve things. Anyway, thanks very much for your time. And I hope to see you on another video soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.